All right, so today we're going to dive deep into a company you might not have heard of.
Yeah, probably not a household name.
But oh boy, it's more interesting than it sounds. VICOM.
VICOM,
You got it. Okay, VICOM. Now, for those who haven't heard of them,
which is probably most people.
what do they actually do?
They're big in Singapore, right?
Yeah, they are.
And they do everything.
That under the radar.
Yeah, from like
Not super flashy.
those car inspections, mandatory car inspections,
Right, the ones you hear about?
to a whole lot more.
It's like car inspections on steroids.
That's a good way to put it.
But really, we're talking about a company that does testing, inspection, and certification.
The tick?
TIC, yeah, for the
Yeah.
industry insiders.
Exactly.
And their reach, it goes way beyond just cars.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking aerospace, construction,
Think about the food you eat.
even food safety.
We're talking things that, impact pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Even if you've never been to Singapore.
So essentially, VICOM is making sure,
Making sure things are up to standard.
yeah, in a whole bunch of industries.
Safe, up to standard.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, but how,
It's a lot.
what's the game plan?
It is, yeah.
How does a company like this actually make money?
That's what we're going to figure out.
All right,
That's the deep dive today.
let's deep dive.
Breaking down the business model.
Give us the breakdown.
Strengths, weaknesses, the threats on the horizon, how technology and regulations
Oh yeah, regulation.
play a big part
Huge.
in the future.
It's like peeking behind the curtain
Exactly.
of a business that I think most people
Don't even realize
don't even know is there.
exists.
But believe me, understanding these concepts is valuable
For sure.
for assessing any business,
Any business.
not just,
Not just car brakes.
the ones testing your car brakes.
Exactly.
All right, so to start,
Start with the basics.
let's go basic.
VICOM is publicly traded
Oh, interesting.
on the Singapore Exchange. So we have access to their annual report,
Uh-huh.
which is like a gold mine of info about their inner workings.
Okay, so we've got this annual report. Let's crack it open.
Big crack it open.
Where's the bulk of their revenue coming from?
Well, you probably guessed it.
Lay it on me.
Those mandatory vehicle inspections,
Okay, so the cars,
huge part of their revenue.
big moneymaker?
Makes sense in a place like Singapore.
Yeah,
Strict regulations,
right.
vehicle safety,
Got to keep those roads safe.
roadworthiness.
Right.
That's reliable income for VICOM.
Makes sense.
Steady stream of cars,
Yeah.
need inspections, equals
Yeah, cash flow.
steady stream of revenue.
Okay, so that's the car side of things.
Right.
But you mentioned they do a lot more,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Not just cars.
And that's a key strength for them.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Diversification.
Okay.
So they've strategically expanded
Not all their eggs in one basket.
into various sectors.
Right.
Helps balance out
Yeah, helps if
potential fluctuations.
one sector's down, maybe another's up.
Vehicle inspection market.
Right, they're hedging their bets a little bit.
Yeah.
Smart, I like it.
Yeah.
Give me an example of one of these other areas.
They have a subsidiary
Okay.
called Setsko,
Let's go.
and they focus on non-vehicle testing,
So everything but the cars.
everything but the cars.
All right.
So they do everything
What kind of things are we talking?
from inspecting building materials to testing food products for
In fact,
safety.
Wait, hold on.
Getting
All
closer.
testing.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
This is something everyone cares about.
Right, everyone eats.
Right. Food safety.
That's universal.
Setsko has even been featured on CNA.
Oh, wow, like the news?
Yeah, for their work testing, things like salmon and durian.
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 Whoa, that's
That's commitment.
that is commitment.
But food safety.
But it also shows how, like,
Savvy.
savvy VICOM is, right?
Yeah.
Food safety.
It's a universal concern.
Universal.
So it's a smart move.
Tap into that market.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got vehicle inspections, diverse testing services,
Yep.
and this, like,
Strong financial foundation.
seemingly strong financial foundation.
Yeah.
But you mentioned regulations earlier.
Yeah. They're a major factor.
How big of a role do regulations play?
VICOM is deeply intertwined with
VICOM success.
Singaporean government agencies.
Okay, so they're, like, in bed with the government.
Well, a good example is their partnership with the Land Transport Authority,
Okay.
or LTA.
LTA, right.
They work together to install onboard units,
Onboard units.
OBUs,
OBUs, okay.
in vehicles as part of the electronic road pricing system upgrade
Okay.
known as ERP 2.0.
Whoa.
Acronyms galore.
We love acronyms.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
So-
But seriously, even if you don't know,
Don't know what all the letters stand for.
What those acronyms mean.
Sounds like a big deal.
It was a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
It highlights how closely VICOM works with government agencies.
All right, so closely tied to those government agencies.
Yeah, and these regulatory changes.
Okay.
Even in something like road pricing.
Oh.
Direct impact on their business.
So basically, the government sets the rules of the game,
Right.
and VICOM is there to make sure everyone's playing by those rules.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. But how are they actually doing?
Financially.
Financially, are they profitable?
That's the question.
Right. That's the important one.
And the answer, based on their annual report,
Right.
is a resounding yes.
Okay, so they're making money.
They show consistent revenue growth,
Good.
healthy operating profits,
Keeping the lights on.
and they've been paying dividends.
Investors happy.
Yeah, to shareholders.
All right, so they're making money, keeping their investors happy,
Yeah,
playing this crucial role in upholding safety
quality standards.
and quality standards.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good gig.
Pretty good gig.
What?
Yeah.
Are there any cracks
Always cracks.
in this armor?
There are.
What about competition?
That's a great question.
Right.
Because the Thais market, especially in a hub like Singapore,
Yeah.
quite crowded.
Okay.
VICOM isn't the only player.
So how do they stay ahead?
That's where we get into
A
the
pack. What are their strategies?
nitty-gritty of their business model.
All right, let's get into it.
One of their key strategies is investing heavily in technology.
Technology. Okay.
Okay.
Technology. All right, give me an example.
Okay, so for starters, they've got this online customer portal.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, it's called eCert,
eCert.
and it lets customers like book inspections, track the progress, and even download their certificates.
All online.
All online.
So it's like cutting through the red tape digitally.
Yeah, exactly. Streamline the process.
It's going to be a huge time saver
More efficient.
for everyone.
Right.
Plus, it gives VICOM a competitive edge.
Right. Got to stay ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Smart move. But tech is constantly changing, right? How do they keep up? Well, that's another area where VICOM shines.
All right, lay it on me.
They're very forward-thinking when it comes to adopting new technologies, international standards.
Okay, give me an example.
For instance, they've embraced the worldwide harmonized light vehicles test procedures,
Oh, say that 5 times fast.
or WLTP for short.
Okay, WLTP, got it. Another acronym.
Right.
But what does that even mean?
So it's a globally recognized standard for testing vehicle emissions and fuel economy.
Okay,
So by adopting WLTP,
yeah,
VICOM is demonstrating that commitment to stay aligned
with the best of the best.
with international best practices.
Okay, global standards.
Yeah, it allows them to provide those services to
Right.
clients who operate in different countries,
So they're thinking globally.
potentially opening up new markets.
Smart. Okay, so global standards, tech to improve the customer experience.
Right.
But what about the people?
Yeah, the human element.
They still need those skilled workers.
Right.
What if they can't find enough qualified people?
It's a valid concern,
Yeah, huge problem for a lot of companies.
especially in a tight labor market.
Right.
But VICOM seems to be taking steps
Okay, good.
to mitigate that risk.
How so?
The annual report highlights their initiatives to attract and retain talent.
Okay, so like, what are they doing?
Comprehensive training programs, professional development opportunities for their employees.
They're investing in their people,
Exactly.
which in the long run, I think is the best investment you can make
Absolutely.
as a company.
A well-trained,
Yeah,
motivated workforce
it's huge.
is a huge asset.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so they're diversifying,
Yeah.
investing in tech,
Taking care of their employees.
taking care of their employees. But it can't all be sunshine and roses, right?
Right?
What are the challenges VICOM faces?
Well, one of the obvious ones is maintaining that edge
That competitive edge?
in that crowded market,
Right, because new players are always coming up.
constantly emerging.
So they got to stay ahead of the game.
VICOM has to stay agile, innovative
Yeah, you snooze, you lose, right?
to differentiate themselves.
Right.
And then there's the whole issue of technology disruption,
Oh.
which is something every industry
Every industry's dealing with
is
this.
grappling with.
Right.
For VICOM, this raises some big questions.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, think about the rise of EVs,
EVs, electric vehicle.
electric vehicles.
Right.
On one hand,
Yeah.
VICOM is adapting.
Okay. Yeah.
They're building a new testing center
Oh, wow.
that's equipped to handle EVs
So they're looking ahead.
with charging stations and all
Okay, good.
the necessary infrastructure.
They're not falling behind.
Right.
But on the flip side, is there a risk that this tech could make some of their services obsolete.
It's a valid concern.
Right.
What happens if self-driving cars become the norm?
Whoa.
Will we still need
Yeah, that's the question.
same level of vehicle inspection?
That's a big one.
So technology is both a boon
Yeah.
and a potential threat for VICOM.
It's like walking a tightrope.
It is. It's a great analogy,
Yeah.
and it highlights that complex interplay between technology, regulation,
Right.
and business strategy.
And let's not forget the regulatory landscape, right?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that earlier.
Big role in VICOM's world.
The government, yeah, they set the standards, right?
Setting this
The regulations that VICOM helps to uphold.
Yep.
But how does that impact VICOM's future?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Okay, how so?
On one hand,
Yeah.
regulations provide VICOM
Yeah.
with a stable, predictable market.
Okay.
Those mandatory inspections, they're not going away anytime soon.
Right, people always need to get their cars checked.
Exactly.
It's like a built-in customer base.
Built-in customer base, you got it.
So that's good for business.
But the flip side is
Always a flip side.
regulations can change,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes unexpectedly.
That's the thing with regulations.
New laws,
Yeah.
stricter emission standards,
Keep those cars clean.
advancements in technology.
Right.
All of these can force VICOM
Yeah.
to adapt
Adapt or die.
and evolve those services,
Right.
which can be costly and time-consuming.
So they need to be nimble,
Yeah,
ready to pivot.
exactly.
It's not just about doing things by the book. It's about, like,
Rewriting the book.
rewriting the book when the rules change.
You got it.
It's a whole different ball game.
It's about anticipating those changes,
Right.
staying informed, being proactive,
Right.
and VICOM seems to be doing a good job of that.
Okay, so they're on top of it.
So far, so good.
You mentioned earlier that VICOM is embracing technology.
Yeah.
Are there any examples of how they're using tech to not just adapt, but, like, get ahead of the curve?
Absolutely.
Like, what are they doing?
Their investment in cybersecurity
Cybersecurity.
is a prime example.
That seems like a bit of a leap.
It does, doesn't it?
From car inspections to cybersecurity.
But it's all about recognizing
Okay.
the interconnectedness of things.
Right, explain that.
In today's world,
Yeah.
as vehicles become more reliant
Yeah, more tech in cars.
on software, on connectivity,
Right.
the risk of cyber attacks
Increases.
Eh?
So wait, like, a car malfunction in the future might not be a mechanical issue.
Exactly.
It might they're like a hacker.
It could be a software glitch
Whoa.
caused by a hacker.
That's a whole other thing.
It is a whole other level of complexity.
All right, so VICOM's like getting ahead of that.
And by investing in cybersecurity,
Okay.
VICOM is positioning itself
Yeah.
as a leader in
Yeah.
addressing these emerging threats.
Right.
They're not just reacting to the present, they're thinking about the future.
That's good. That's good. They're thinking ahead.
Planning ahead.
It's like they're acknowledging that the lines between all these different industries are blurring,
Yeah, they are.
and they're adapting their strategy. Smart. Okay, but it's not just tech and regulations, right?
Right.
What about sustainability?
That's another critical aspect.
How does VICOM factor that in?
Well, VICOM has started integrating sustainability into their operations.
Okay, in what ways?
In fact, they recently published their first task force on climate-related financial disclosures report,
Okay, another acronym.
or TCFD report for short.
TCFD, I've actually heard of that one.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a big deal in
It is.
the corporate world.
It shows that VICOM is serious about measuring and managing their environmental impact.
So they're not just, like, talking the talk
They're not just paying lip service.
or walking the walk.
They're taking concrete steps to reduce their carbon footprint,
All right, helping the planet.
operate more responsibly.
And it's not just, about doing the right thing. It's good business sense.
Absolutely.
Right.
Consumers are more conscious these days
Yeah, people care about that.
about sustainability.
Right.
They're more likely to support businesses
That share their values.
that align with their values.
Right, right.
So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
VICOM gets to be more sustainable.
Benefits the planet.
It's good for their image, potentially attracts more customers.
Enhances their reputation.
Smart.
It's a smart move.
All around.
And it speaks to VICOM's commitment
Yeah.
to being a responsible
Corporate citizen.
corporate citizen.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We talked about VICOM's diverse business model,
Yes.
their strengths in technology,
Workforce development.
workforce development,
Yeah.
the challenges they face from competition,
Technology disruption.
tech disruption, their close relationship with government regulations,
Right.
and their growing focus on sustainability.
It's been a comprehensive deep dive.
It has been a deep dive.
We've seen how VICOM navigates this complex landscape of competing forces.
Constantly adapting.
And constantly adapt.
To stay ahead of the game.
To stay ahead of the curve.
But here's the thing. VICOM's story.
Yeah.
It's more than just a case study.
It's a reflection in business success.
Of broader trends.
Right.
That are impacting all of us.
Yeah, this is bigger than just one company.
The rise of technology.
Yeah.
The evolving role of regulation.
Yeah.
The growing importance of sustainability. These are forces that are shaping our world.
Whether we realize it or not.
So
even if you've never needed to get your car inspected in Singapore.
Right.
Understanding how a company like VICOM operates.
And
adapts.
Is valuable.
Incredibly valuable.
It's about connecting the dots.
Seeing
that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Recognizing the interconnectedness of everything.
Right.
And it's about thinking critically about how these trends might impact your own life.
Your work, your investments, your everything.
Your own work.
Yeah. Your own investments.
Because in a world that's changing faster than ever.
Right.
The ability to adapt.
Innovate and stay ahead of the game.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Those are the skills.
That
determine success.
That will determine success.
It's like VICOM is this little window, right?
Yeah, a microcosm.
Into the business world.
Of the business world.
Navigating this crazy dance.
Yeah, between tech, regulation.
Between technology regulations.
Consumer expectations.
And all these changing expectations.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's fascinating is
they're not just reacting.
They're not just sitting back.
They're actively
shaping their future. Their investment in that new testing center for EVs.
Yeah, perfect example.
That's a great example, right?
A perfect example.
It shows they're not just thinking about today's cars.
Right.
They're thinking about
tomorrow's cars.
The future of cars.
The automotive landscape of tomorrow.
Exactly. They're making strategic bets on these emerging trends.
But that begs the question, what other trends?
Yeah, what else are they looking at?
Are on VICOM's radar. What's next?
What's next for the world of tech?
Right, for testing, inspection, certification.
It's a good question.
Good question, and I don't have a crystal ball.
I don't either.
But I think...
But based on what we've seen...
Based on their approach...
so far...
They're probably looking at some key areas.
I'd agree with that.
Right.
For one, I wouldn't be surprised if they're exploring...
All right, give me one.
The potential of AI.
AI, artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning.
That's the hot topic.
It's everywhere these days.
How could they even use that in testing and inspection?
Imagine, systems, right?
Yeah.
That can analyze the data from inspections in real time.
Okay.
Identify potential issues faster.
More efficiently, yeah.
And even predict future maintenance needs.
Okay, so predictive maintenance.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole...
That could revolutionize...
It's next level.
The way they operate.
Yeah. But wouldn't that require, a huge shift in their workforce?
Significant investment.
The skills that they need.
In training and development.
Yeah, you got to get people ready for this stuff.
To make sure those employees are equipped.
To work with.
To work alongside these AI systems.
Yeah, it's not replacing the humans. It's
augmenting human capability.
Yeah, working together.
But it could also create new opportunities.
Right, new jobs, new
specializations within the company.
A whole new era of tech is emerging, and it makes you wonder.
Makes you think.
About the ethics of AI.
Yeah, are there risks?
Are there ethical risks involved?
It's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a new technology.
Right. Especially something as powerful as AI.
You have to consider those ethical implications.
Yeah.
VICOM would need to make sure that their systems
are doing the right thing.
Unbiased. Transparent. Used responsibly.
Right. You don't want AI making life or death decisions.
Right. Impacting people's safety.
Without someone checking its work.
Without oversight.
Right.
Accountability.
It's a lot to consider. So as we wrap up our deep dive into VICOM,
what did we learn?
What's the big takeaway? What do you want our listener walking away with?
I'd say VICOM's journey is a testament to foresight. And adaptability.
Yeah.
They're not just reacting.
They're shaping the future.
They're shaping their future.
And that's a lesson we can all learn from.
Absolutely. In our own lives.
Our own careers.
Our careers.
VICOM's story is a case study.
How to thrive.
In a world that's changing faster than ever.
That's changing so quickly.
It's about embracing technology
Anticipating trends,
Anticipating those trends, investing in your people,
investing in your workforce,
and constantly looking for new ways.
new ways to create value.
To create value.
Right, and recognize
And also recognizing then
that the world
that the world is interconnected.
is interconnected.
What happens in one industry, in one country, can have ripple effects.
Ripple effects across the globe.
So whether you're a business leader, an investor,
Or just someone who's curious.
or just someone who's listened to this podcast,
VICOM's story offers valuable insights
into how to navigate
to complexity.
all the crazy complexities of the 21st century.
Of the 21st century, you got it.
It's a reminder that we all need to be adaptable.
Forward thinking.
Forward thinking.
Willing to embrace change.
Embrace the change. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking questions.